In the headlines, political realignment in Kano as Kwankwaso meets Shekarau. Police arrest suspected bandits in Kaduna Forest. Away from Nigeria, Hassan Sheikh Mohammed elected as Somalia's new president. And in sports, NFF appoints new coach for Super Eagles. Hello and welcome to Trust News Updates. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. And we begin with politics. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso on Sunday visited Senator Ibrahim Shekarau to finalize arrangements leading to Shekarau's defection to the new but fast-growing New Nigeria's People's Party. Shekarau had been expected to officially announce his defection from the ruling All Progressives Congress on Saturday, but the plan was shelved for an undisclosed reason. Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has visited Shekarau Friday night to prevail on him to shelve the defection, with the latter shunning an Abuja meeting after reportedly gathering that it was not the presidency that called the peace parley. Sources in Shekarau's camp told Daily Trust that the defection is almost a done deal, as all the associates of the former governor in all the 44 local government areas have agreed to move to the NNPP. No fewer than 145 governorship aspirants and 1,548 National Assembly aspirants under the platform of the All Progressives Congress on Sunday besieged the venue for the party screening exercise to be cleared to contest party's primaries. Trust TV's Shafi'u Suleiman, who monitored the screening, reports that the aspirants are upbeat for the positive outcome as they face the screening panel.
As it is with Nigeria's political culture, governors rounding up their second terms of stewardship usually move to the Senate, perceived as retirement enclave for them. They move in to the venue of the screening exercise to perform yet another political party ritual.
Very smooth, very simple, because it's a procedure that you are used to, and I've done it.
It went very well, very orderly, well organized.
For some incumbent senators like Smart Adeyemi, representing Kogi West Senatorial District, there is no limit for a return ticket.
You cannot say you have qualified to run until when they say you have also qualified to run. So, notwithstanding that you are a sitting senator, you wait for the verdict. So when we get the report from the screening committee, then we now look at the strategies of how to cross the bridge.
The committee members they did a very good job, I must confess. I must commend them because of the surging crowd, confusion. They were able to handle it well. So I'm very happy with the process.
The venue for the screening exercise is a beehive of activities as the governorship and National Assembly aspirants remain upbeat of meeting the requirements set out by the party, which holds the ace for their chances of moving to the next step of the electoral process. Shafi'u Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Operatives of the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response Team have arrested 2 suspected bandits in a Kaduna forest. The team, led by DCP Olatunji Disu, arrested them following a distress call to the Operation Puff Adder. The suspects were arrested after kidnapping a man in Bandoko community, Kaduna. According to Force Public Relations Officer CSP Muyiwa Dejobi, the suspects confessed that their initial plan was to abduct and gang rape the victim's wife. Dozens of residents of Niger State on Sunday morning fled to Minna, the state capital, as terrorists reportedly took over communities between Mutun and Gunu, Sedikim Power Road in Munya local government area. Mutun and Gunu communities are about 20 kilometers northeast of Minna, the Niger State capital. A resident in the area, Shehu Abubakar, said the attackers started operations at about 5:20 a.m. at Chibani, Kuchi, and Injita and Gwada axis when communities were still observing their early morning prayers, and operated till about 11 a.m. unchallenged. Travelers plying Gunu, Mutumdea, Gwada, Sedikim Power, and adjoining villages were trapped as the road was reportedly unsafe on Sunday morning. Niger State Police Command is yet to confirm the attack. The Northern Governors Forum has condemned the killing of Deborah Samuel, a student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, who was killed on allegations of blasphemy. Chairman of the forum, Simon Lalong, and Governor of Plateau State, in a statement, expressed the governor's concern about the development, which was clearly an extrajudicial measure of addressing perceived infractions. Governor Lalong frowned at the adoption of self-help in addressing grievances, whether religious or otherwise, noting that such could only lead to further chaos that may threaten law and order. The NGF, while commiserating with the family of the victim, urged security agencies to thoroughly investigate the matter and ensure that the law takes its full course on anyone found wanting or culpable in the circumstance. The Borno State Commissioner of Police has cautioned religious leaders and people of Borno to shelve any planned protest over the Sokoto blasphemy incident. This follows the meeting on peace building with religious leaders and other security stakeholders with the Commissioner on the directive of the state governor. Intelligence reports suggest that some residents were planning to shut down the city in reaction to the alleged Sokoto blasphemy incident that resulted to the death of a female student named Deborah Samuel. At the meeting, the Commissioner of Police, Abdu Umar, called on the religious leaders to help the state maintain peace by ensuring that their followers stay peaceful.
You all know that here in Borno, Yobe and Adamawa states, there is Boko Haram crisis, which we are trying to calm the situation and enjoy the peace we are experiencing now. But with what happened in Sokoto recently is the reason we called for this gathering to enlighten our people, and it's expected of us to extend the message here to our followers on the importance of peace. The governor called to me this hour that we should have this meeting, even if it's to wake everyone, to discuss so we can avoid what happened in Sokoto to occur in Borno. We will take action accordingly. The chief imam will summon all the malams and preachers and talk to them. He will deliver the message of the Commissioner of Police to them. I will also appeal to the Khan chairman to talk to the pastors and Christians to avoid religious comments. It will really help to stop spreading the story of. We, the Christian community in Borno State, have agreed to maintain peace. I have written letters to all the pastors in Borno, telling them to inform their members that we don't want any reaction from them, and they should go about their normal routine activities without any fear of attack. We are law-abiding and we have a total submission to the teaching of God as enshrined in the Holy Bible.
Queues are emerging in filling stations in Gombe metropolis as fuel scarcity looms in the city. Ibrahim Ismail speaks to some motorists on the difficulties involved before buying the commodity. The report.
This filling station is located along Gombe Bauchi Road in Gombe metropolis. It is one of the few filling stations selling petrol in the entire city. Motorists here say they spend between 1 and 3 hours on the queue.
And this is truly very unusual, and someone like me, I spent like 2 to 3 hours on queue, and I have to stress, like it was very stressful coming in right here. So I think this is just uncalled for a country like this, Nigeria, that's known for production of crude oil, but yet we the citizens are still suffering like this. It's just unfortunate, and we really need to talk to our leaders, the president. I don't know what's actually doing.
The president,
yes,
Commander-in-Chief,
Commander-in-Chief,
Minister of Petroleum.
Of course.
And this is happening. Do you have a message?
It's unfortunate, Mr. President. If you listen to me or if you hear me at any cost, this is uncalled for.
Na kai awa biyu anan ina jiran mai, amma layi na ya zo an ce mai ya kare.
I have been here for more than 2 hours waiting for fuel. When it was my turn, they said it has finished. I used to travel to Port Harcourt from Gombe, but we don't experience difficulties of buying fuel there, like here in the north. I don't know the reason. Is it the fault of the marketers or the government?
So ko kuma gwamnatocinmu ne na nan arewa.
Trust TV observed that more than 10 filling stations are not selling the product in Gombe metropolis. Motorcycle riders are incensed. They accuse petroleum marketers of hoarding the commodity.
To gaskiya wannan hali da muka shiga na harkar mai gaskiya abun ya ba mu tsoro. Dan sabanin ma yanzu aka mun zo nan gidan man.
We are scared about this fuel scarcity. I swear we have waited for long, but they told us that they will not sell to us. However, we have seen some VIPs buying the product, but we the Okada riders are suffering. We followed the queue, they said no fuel. I spent 2 to 3 hours here. Efforts to speak to the leadership of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Gombe State chapter, were not successful. Nigeria has been battling with fuel scarcity since early this year after millions liters of adulterated petrol were imported into the country. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up shortly. Culture of tribal marks going extinct. Do stay with us.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Trust News Update. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. You heard that there are indications of a political realignment in Kano as Kwankwaso meets Shekarau. We also told you that police have arrested suspected bandits in Kaduna Forest. Some more news. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has interrupted bids by drug cartels to export tramadol, ecstasy, MDMA, and cannabis to Milan, Italy, Dubai, and United Arab Emirates through the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. It also seized 203,879 tablets of pharmaceutical opioids and illicit substances in raids across Abia, Kaduna, Yobe, and Kogi states. The report.
At the Lagos airport, a female passenger, Odia Emiliana Efe, was arrested on Monday 9th May while trying to board Royal Air Morocco flight from Lagos via Casablanca to Milan, Italy, with 1,000 tablets of tramadol, 200 milligrams concealed in food items. A freight agent, Karim Ibrahim, was also arrested at the Sako cargo shed of the airport for attempting to export food items containing hidden blocks of cannabis, weighing 6.65 kilograms, and 24 grams of ecstasy drugs, MDMA, to Dubai in the UAE. In Abia, 3 trucks loaded with drugs coming from Lagos and Onitsha, Anambra, were intercepted with 67,100 tablets of tramadol and 12,650 capsules of pentazocine, morphine, and dopamine. Similarly, NDLEA operatives in Kaduna arrested a suspected drug dealer, Shehu Kabir, also known as Anzaira, wanted by the Katsina command of the agency for jumping bail. Items recovered from him include 45,000 tablets of diazepam weighing 41.5 kilograms, 50,000 tablets of Exo weighing 15.6 kilograms, 1,500 tablets of Rofinol weighing 700 grams, and 300 bottles of codeine weighing 41.5 kilograms. In Yobe State, no fewer than 7,029 tablets of Tramadol, D5 and Exo, as well as 1.5 kilograms of cannabis were recovered from a drug dealer, Ibrahim Yakubu, when his hideout was raided in Unguru town, while in Rivers State, one Chikeri Richard was arrested at Eleme area on Wednesday, 11th May, with 207.2 kilograms of cannabis. The chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired, has commended officers and men of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Abia, Kaduna, Yobe, Rivers, and Kogi for the arrests and seizures, and assured that the NDLEA will spare no effort at ridding the nation of illicit drug trade.
The age-long cultural practice of inscribing tribal marks on children's cheeks in Yoruba land is gradually fading and might go into extinction. While many people want the practice stopped, there are people who believe that the culture of tribal marks should be sustained because of its benefits. Hamid Oyebade filed the report.
In Yoruba land, tribal marks serve different purposes. The people use these marks as a way of identification and a means of beautification, while they believe in their powers of healing and spiritual protection. They are a part of the Yoruba culture and are usually inscribed on the cheeks during childhood. One of the common tribal marks in Ile-Ife in Osun State is known as Pele, which comes as 3 long vertical lines drawn on the cheeks. The other versions are Pele Ijebu and Pele Ijesha. Another popular tribal mark in Yoruba land is the Gombo marking system, a complex combination of curved and straight lines on both sides of the face. It is common to people from Ogbomoso in Oyo State. However, the culture is gradually going into extinction in Yoruba land because of modernity. Fumilayo Adeyemi says tribal marks deface people and so should be stopped.
Tribal mark is a fashion of the old by our forefathers, and I don't think this mark is in vogue anymore. And the reason why I believe that this tribal mark should not be in vogue again is because of the damages it has caused a lot of children. In the olden days, it is acceptable, but in the 21st century, we don't accept it any longer.
You see what happened when they even born me? They have to carry me out from our family house to another place so that they will not give me that tribal mark. Tribal mark in the olden days is very important. It's just a unique to know people where you came from. But as we are in a modern world, it's no longer useful.
In contrast, Olaide Oyelude and Prince Kola Oyelere both believe the practice should be sustained and want rulers to protect Yoruba cultural practices, including tribal marks.
I'm a Yoruba man. Concerning the issue of tribal marks, I will advocate that we should continue, we should not allow the culture of applying tribal marks on our children to die. Why? Tribal marks can be used to identify the community or the family that a baby or someone is from.
Increasing urbanization and modernization have rendered some cultural practices obsolete, which is why the practice of tribal marks may be on its way to extinction. Even the debate about their importance to society is not as loud as it was in years past.
One of the easiest ways of identifying a person is by their name. The importance of the means of identification makes it imperative that once a child is born, they're given one. In this report, Trust TV's Kabir Lawal takes a look at the significance of names and how they impact on everyday life. The report.
To many, names are just an identification tag that carries no more significance or effect than naming who the bearer is, while others believe there is more to name that meets the eye. However, in African context, naming is a very important tool used among various cultures to convey certain messages, either to an individual, family members, or a community.
Amarachi means the grace of God. Okay. As a child growing up, I was always sick. So it took grace that I survived. my mom didn't really believe that I would live up to this age. So I feel like it's a name that follows me. The grace of God has always been around me. Well, we should be careful of names. It's just like the words we speak. It goes a long way in the children's life. So just like your words, the names has effect as well.
Some respondents believe that African children also receive a second name believed to be prayers, hope for the future, unnamed expectations, and parental aspirations. Names are also given based on geographic environment, religious beliefs, as well as past experiences. The chosen name may even offer insight into important cultural or socio-political events at that time.
Oh, my name is God's Glory Omojo.
So what is the meaning of your name?
God's Glory Omojo is like someone that represents the glory of God. God's glory. Then Omojo means child of God. Then Edibo is servant of God. Edibo is servant of a king. Do you understand? So there are these persons in our village that stands behind the king. So those persons, they call them Edibo. So they are servant of a king. But being born into a Christian family will now change into servant of God because we are standing behind God as his servants. So I feel every parent should just be conscious of giving their child good names that will represent what they really want in their child.
In modern African culture, naming ceremonies are celebrations that formally introduce a child to the world, its community, and announces the infant's name and meanings of the said names.
The name is of paramount importance in our society, which goes a long way to make the bearer good ambassador of the nation. He added that most time individuals change names that will have adverse effects on the bearer.
My name is Said Razak.
Said Razak.
Yeah.
So what is the meaning of your name?
The meaning of my name is, according to what I hear, is Anobi Said, it's prophet of Allah. I have Babatunde.
You have Babatunde?
Yeah.
Why do they call you Babatunde?
It's because my grandpa late. That's why they call me Babatunde.
One classic case of the impact of a name on a person's life is name Goodluck, which many Nigerians believe contributed to the meteoric rise of ex-President Jonathan from political oblivion to the zenith of politics in Nigeria. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Bauchi state government says it will ensure stiffer punishment for those felling trees indiscriminately to serve as deterrent to others and the menace of desertification in the state. He stated this after a one-day sensitization meeting on alternative use of household cooking stove. Trust TV's Adamu Imam has details.
The stakeholders meeting was organized by the Bauchi State Environmental Protection Agency and attended by district heads across the state. It was aimed at educating them on the dangers of felling of trees and the need to reduce the risks of using domestic cooking stove. The district head of Bauchi warned of consequences from those who flout the directives, adding that such people risk being prosecuted.
It's not administered to these people. They will continue to do it. For instance, somebody will be caught with a truckload of firewood. The worst that can be done to him is to fine him. You fine him maybe more than 5,000 for a truck, and then you allow him to go with the firewood. That if the firewood has been auctioned to him, you pay a fine, and then you are allowed to go with the firewood. You go and sell it again. Tomorrow you will go back. You will say that it's only a fine of 5,000 for a truckload of firewood. I will do it tomorrow.
Stakeholders are sure of new and improved household stove that will reduce carbon emission and help protect the environment.
Employment, because in the production of the cook stove is also bringing about employment in the distribution channel, because sales agents will be employed who will sell the cook stove, and also it will reduce the fuel consumption in households, so household will reduce their spending on fuel consumption.
Some of the participants appreciated the effort of the agency and commended the project initiators for educating them. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The Adamawa Taraba Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service says it intercepted no fewer than 2,140 bags of urea fertilizer and other contraband goods worth over 68 million naira in April. Speaking at a press conference in Yola, the Controller General of Customs in charge of Adamawa State expressed concern over the rate at which restricted items now move to northeast parts of the country, despite federal government's stand on it. He explained that the command has keyed into the Controller General of Customs' zero-tolerance policy for smuggling, combating trade in illicit goods, and implementation of federal government fiscal policies.
Nigeria Customs Service has keyed into the Controller General of Customs' zero-tolerance policy for smuggling, combating illegal commercial activities and trade in illicit goods, and implementation of the federal government fiscal policy. The command, in collaboration with other custom units operating the command like CIU, SIS, Federal Operation and Strike Force, in collaboration with the actionable information got from Public Patriotic Nigeria, was able to record 10 seizures in April 2022 alone, with the duty paid value of over 68 million naira. The items include 2,140 bags of 50 kg each of urea fertilizer seized only in April this year. This is apart from the over 1,700 earlier seized, covering between January to March 2022.
Away from Nigeria, Somali legislators have elected former leader Hassan Sheikh Mohamud as the country's new president. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, who served as Somalia's president between 2012 and 2017, won the contest in the capital Mogadishu amid a security lockdown imposed by authorities to prevent deadly rebel attacks. Somalians hope the vote will draw a line under a political crisis that has lasted well over a year after Mohamud's term ended in February 2021 without an election. And finally, in sports, the Nigerian Football Federation on Sunday announced the appointment with immediate effect of Jose Santos Peseiro as the new head coach of the senior men national team, the Super Eagles. Jose Vitor dos Santos Peseiro, 62, is a Portuguese who played as a striker in his days and has wide and varied experience coaching top clubs and national teams across Europe, Asia, Africa, and South America. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.